Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. This is going to be comments episode 11. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you end up liking it, hit the notification bell, and make sure to leave more comments, and we'll do more episodes just like this one. So it's going to start off with Betty Horn in response to my comments episode 10 video. She says, "Sorry I haven't been watching / commenting." Gosh dang it, Betty Horn! Why? Just kidding. Hubby and I are in a bit of a quandary at the moment, looking yet again for another place to live. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody, prayers for Betty Horn and her husband. We'll keep you in our prayers. But we're getting it worked out, and things will get better soon. It always does. Yes. As for Elder Bednar, this might just be that ministry. Yeah, it could be. It may not be anything special, him going to the Middle East right now, but it's still something to kind of keep an eye on. I had never heard until recently about the two Davids being prophets from Jerusalem. You know, the first time that I heard that, I think it was in Jody Stoddard's video series, but I guess I'd have to go back and look because she does have references, but I don't think that she had references for that, and I still can't find anywhere anything talking about two Davids being the two witnesses, right? The two candlesticks. Um, I know there will be two prophets, but people post about it without any references. Right? Exactly. It's a big problem. It's okay. I think it's okay to speculate. To think out loud and come up with ideas, but if you're gonna say something as though it's for sure, then you should have references. I have not yet found any that say they will both be named David. It is a possibility, as anything with God, but I haven't found where their names are listed. Me neither. Frankly, I don't think that. I think the whole two Davids thing is a misunderstanding of the two Davids prophecy by Joseph Smith, talking about the original King David and a future latter day King David in Israel. I think people just get that mixed up. They see that prophecy and instantly assume without reading it or studying it that they think that it's the two witnesses. But if anyone has it, if it's out there, let me know. That would be really interesting. Uh, Dave, speaking about David, Dave C, in response to comments episode 10, says, "As the world turns away from the Lord and his covenants, we see the Lord withdrawing his promises of prosperity, security, posterity, and inheritance. Surely this would cause commotion." Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Um, in response to my Elder Bednar, two Davids, two witnesses, Armageddon video, Ricardo Silva says, on December 6th, 2017, when then U.S. President Donald Trump announced the United States recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and ordered the planning of the relocation of the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Okay, so on December 6th, that's when we recognized Jerusalem as the capital. So that was a really big deal. And he even puts a reference. It's a Wikipedia article, but Wikipedia articles do have references themselves, or at least they should. So I'll put this link down in the description if you want to go check it out yourself and study that further. So it's significant. I think that's pretty significant. In response to the same video, Ariz Lizaraga Olascoaga, my friend from Spain, says the Messianic Jews, Christian Israeli Jews, think that when destruction comes during Armageddon, they will be preserved by Petra, or Jordan, the country, the nation Jordan, and its environs. A scripture encourages them to flee to the mountains. Very interesting. I need to watch these Messianic Jews a little bit more. I've been aware of them for some time, but I haven't really. I know that they have some YouTube channels and there's stuff out there, but it'd probably be really good to follow that, because I think that that's pretty significant, um, that there's a group of them, or a substantial number of them, that are turning to Christ. And even though they're not part of our church yet, that's a step in the right direction. So, Jan, in response to the same video, says, the blue or purple they need was from a sea animal. I can't remember if it was a fish or a shell type animal. No, just remember they found it. Um, let's just look it up right now. I'm pretty sure I could find that really quick. I thought it was a sea snail. That's what I seem to remember, but let's see. Die for high priest, priest, I don't know, robe. Special blue dye. Um, ancient, an extremely rare blue dye, which was adored in Jews' ancient times, which was lost to the world for nearly 1300. Okay, let me go to the actual thing here. 1300 years ago, is believed to have been found on a 2,000-year-old piece of fabric. Okay, this is not as easy as I thought it would be. It doesn't matter. Just whether it was a sea snail or whatever the animal was, they found it. And they were able to recreate that dye. Oh, here it is. Ancient sea snail, or ancient snail shell, source of the dye has been, okay. So yeah, it was a sea snail's shell. Interesting. Okay. And then she continues, thanks, this was great, but the earthquake isn't really as funny as you made it sound. No, it really is not going to be that funny when it happens. Um, but we have to have humor, the Lord bless us with humor to be able to get through hard times and through difficult subjects. So, but I'll tell you this, I'm not looking forward to it. But of course, we know that the righteous will be preserved. So, even so, it's really sad. Even though it's the wicked, we still have compassion and empathy and love and care about them, even though they've chosen a wicked way, a wicked lifestyle. It's not going to be a good thing. So I don't mean to make light of serious things, but I think it is appropriate to laugh sometimes and not be too serious. In response to the same video, Arith says, this is how you perform miracles and deceive people through HARP. You can cause earthquakes, tornadoes. This is something that is not even hidden. And then there's a link, and then he says, that doesn't mean that God is weaker. Yeah, he's talking about HARP. If you're familiar with the schemes of the modern day Gadiant robbers, like if you watch channels that follow that kind of thing, that's basically like a weather manipulation type thing. And it does exist. There is such a thing as cloud seeding to try and induce storms and rain, right? Um, and there's probably other things that they can do to manipulate the weather. I mean, all weather on Earth. I know this because I mean, it's not like. Hi, Benjamin. Go to your bedroom, okay? For just a little bit, and then I'll come get you. Um, all weather is created by the uneven heating of the Earth's surface. That's what creates weather ultimately. And so, if you can find ways to heat certain areas or heat the water or whatever, you can manipulate the weather. Um, Obviously, there's man-made ways to bring about earthquakes. Um, so yeah, yeah. So he's talking about the miracles that I was talking about in that video, because we learned in that institute manual, and I don't know where the institute manual got this source of information. They just said that it was said by, I can't remember who it was, but Anyway, you can go back and watch the video, but they said that there would be three spirits that would deceive the kings of the earth and perform miracles and essentially influence them to attack Israel. So, anyway, yeah. Um, okay, in response to my comments, episode 10, Richard Grant says, my wife's pet peeve is channel hosts never mentioning their name. Sorry. My name is Jared Davies, for the record. Um, I don't really like being the central focus of my channel. Um, I am the host. I am the host. Okay, so my name is Jared Davies, if you want that for future notice. I'm sorry, Mrs. Grant. In response to my Elder Bednar, Two Davids, Two Witnesses Armageddon video, Robert Sin. I don't know if that's just sorry, Rob Sin. Uh, you know that robbing is a sin, right, Rob? I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's your real name, uh, last name Sin. Uh, don't ask him what his middle name is. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. Okay. This is what he says. My understanding is that the two witnesses will be from Judah. When we get two Jews called to be apostles, uh, then we know the time is close. Um, I'm not going to say that's wrong, uh, but I have so far throughout my whole life being a member of the church and studying these things, I haven't found that. I know that there will be two prophets raised up to the Jews. Bruce R. McConkie, I'm assuming that you watched the whole video. Bruce R. McConkie does seem to think that it's going to be members of the Quorum of the 12 or possibly even the First Presidency. Um, and I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. As far as them actually being Jews, I'll need to see a source before I believe that. And I'm not saying that there isn't a source, but if you could be so kind as to maybe leave that in response to this video, or if YouTube deletes your comment, because like if there's links, sometimes the algorithms will just delete your comments. Then just email it to me. I have an email. I tell everybody, please, if you say things like this, then please leave a source, because that way I can include it in future videos and we can know where that's coming from. Now, if you're right, and if there's a source for that we can depend on, I don't know that we'll know necessarily, because, it could be that, okay, if you're right, it could be that the two apostles or prophet or whoever may have had their lineage declared as from Judah in their patriarchal blessing. And we wouldn't know that because that's private, unless like they told everybody. On my mission, I went to the Spain Barcelona mission, and there was a guy in my mission that uh, he was declared as Judah, and he told us that, and it's interesting because, well, I don't know if the patriarch knew it or not, but like they were actually Jews before converting to the church. I don't know if he himself was a convert, but at least his family, they were Jewish. So I don't know that necessarily we will know. Um, I think it's tempting when we're looking at prophecies to think that we're gonna, like you and me, we're gonna like witness these things and we're gonna know when it happens. But I think there's a lot of prophecy that actually happens and then we know about it after the fact. Um, for example, when you read the book of Revelation and you read about the woman fleeing into the wilderness for 1,260 days, which the Joseph Smith translation says is years, and then she would come back with her child. No one possibly could have known about Joseph Smith and finding the gold plates, and um, you would know that at some point she would come back. The woman being the church, and then the child being the kingdom of God. But I'm not expecting to see these things play out the way that I think that they will. So if you're right, and if you have a source for that information, we may not know. And And like I said, it could just be that only they know that they're from Judah, according to their patriarchal blessing. So, I don't know. Anyway. And then, in response to the same video, Rob Sin puts another comment. Rob Sin says, "Please don't be so flippant." Okay, I'm sorry, Rob. I don't mean to hurt your feelings if that's what happened. Um, Jeez, this comments episode is a little bit more on the uh, uh, stop laughing. What is your name? Please don't be so flippant. I feel like I'm being interrogated right now. Um, if this is a consulate ship, where's the ambassador? That's from Star Wars, A New Hope. In this, sorry, Rob, I'm just being more flippant. What's the definition of flippant anyway? Let's do a little bit of research. Make sure that I don't transgress that again. Definition of flippant. Not sh not sh not showing a serious, not showing a serious or respectful attitude. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. I can't help it, you guys. I think things are funny. I'm sorry. Believe me, I do treat all these subjects with respect, but I think it's appropriate sometimes to have some humor about it. Okay, jeez. Um, in, res- in response to the same video, Susie White says, "I've been listening to all your videos. I'm learning so much. Thank you." I'm glad to hear that. I hope you are. I know that I'm learning a lot. I thought that I knew a lot, and a lot of these things I've known about for a long time, but like this is the first time I'm really doing a very serious study and putting it all together and solidifying things in my mind. If any of you have the inkling to do a YouTube video or a YouTube channel, I would encourage it, because as they say, the best learners are teachers, because you're forced to learn it and then explain what you've learned. So, but I'm glad that you're getting something good out of it. I hope to see more comments from you, and I hope you continue with the channel. In response to the same video, Warren Smith says, "A pole shift would produce the earthquake that is referenced in scriptures, with seas throwing themselves beyond their bounds." Um, now we already do, of course, know that's happened. That the seas have uh, thrown themselves beyond their bounds with the incredible tsunamis that have happened in Indonesia and also in Japan, and our general authorities have actually commented on that in such a way to say that like those prophecies have essentially been fulfilled. But I'm sure that a worldwide earthquake would definitely probably cause some tsunamis. Um, we'll stay tuned to see how the revelations will be fulfilled. Yep. I think that's the right attitude. I don't think we should. Of course, some things are certain, but as far as like how it happens or exactly what prophecies mean or what they're actually going to look like, it's fun to speculate about that, but I think we need to be careful and not fill in the blank too much, right? We just got to make sure that we differentiate between what we think is going to happen and differentiate between when we're filling in the blank and then what actually is said, and then just patiently waiting to see what actually happens. Aritz says, in response to my 6 of 31, the Sister Wendy Nelson challenge opening remarks, Igbo, now he's talking about Nigeria, and I think I had seen on that Wikipedia article about groups claiming to have Israelite descent. I think the Igbo tribe in Nigeria, which I've met people from that tribe. There's a lot of Nigerians and people from Ghana in Spain, and they were among the most receptive to the gospel. Um, them and the Latin Americans, I would say. Uh, sorry, Aritz. The Europeans weren't as receptive, but I did. I'm not trying to brag, but I did have a number of a few Spaniards that actually that we baptized, and sometimes I think like because that my mom she's from Portugal, and I think that's why I was sent to Spain on my mission, and I seem to have more success with Spaniards than maybe some of the other missionaries did, which it was kind of like a not a typical thing to baptize a European Spaniard. Um, so I think the Lord works in certain ways. I'm sure that I'm because when I go to ancestry.com, I did the DNA test, and I not only do I have Portuguese, but I also have Spanish, of course, because it's basically the same people. Um, but sometimes I wonder if like I was meant to be sent there, and that some of these people are my distant relatives. But anyway, so yeah, there are a lot of Nigerians in Spain. Um, Igbo is said to be the original what? Okay, to be the original local way to dub Hebrews. So the local way of saying Hebrews, he's saying, would be to say Igbo. Uh, oh, the G is silent. Igbo. I think I remember that. I don't know. Okay, the G is silent. Um, besides Omen Omenana, besides Omenana, their traditional is basically the Torah, just as Pashtunwali is the Torah version for the Pashtuns in Afghanistan. I've done videos about them. Um, if you want to watch that, I'll put that link below as well. Also known as Pathans. As you pointed out, the slave trade brought people from very specific areas of Africa. Ibus, Ibos, or whatever, Yorubas, and or Ibos and Yorubas especially. Yeah, I think there's something going on with that area of Africa, honestly. I think there is a high concentration of Israelite blood there. That's just my opinion. Although I guess it might be a bit substantiated. We're going to study this. At some point, I'm going to do a video about the Ebus and find out the particulars about why they believe that they're descended from Israel. And this would be one of the reasons here that the local way of saying Hebrews is Ebo. And then in response to my short video called "Some Good Gossip Around the around the Water," where all my birds are drinking water around the like pool that we have for the ducks. They're like all around the thing and drinking water. Sam Lee says, your subscriber count is 777. Laugh out loud. A lucky number. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. As of right now, let me see if that's still the same. Yes, I'm at 777. So I agree. I think that's a good number to be at. But hopefully we go past that. I'm trying to get obviously as many as possible. Grow the channel. Hopefully help some people out with their study of these things and getting ready for the second coming. I think we need more LDS voices out there, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, excuse me, Discord, all the different social media. Again, if you have the inkling in you at all, make your voice heard, even if it's just putting comments on YouTube videos. But we need more true Israelites, right? Um, to be making the truth known and helping to spread the gospel and helping to gather scattered Israel. So, all right, that's all the comments. So, I appreciate everything you guys said and for interacting with me. I like, hearing from everybody and sharing what you say with everybody else. Um, Again, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you liked it, hit the notification bell, leave more comments, and I will talk to you guys later.